You burn with the desire to free your spirit, as I burn with the longing to flee this encasement.
What's stopping you?
Ah, a curse! We four powerful beings all have been trapped here to seal the entrance of yonder cave. Until all of us are freed by our favored element, the cave remains impenetrable, and what lies within remains trapped, same as we.
I heard you convinced a man to burn all his possessions, but that he gained neither fame nor renown.
Ah, I like to keep my visitors on their toes indeed. But in your case, most blessed spirit, never a fib passes these lips. Cleanse yourself with fire and you won't regret it. You can trust me.
A talking statue? That's rather unique.
But talking is hardly the end of it. I also grant great fortune to those bold enough to address me. For you, I foresee great fame and renown. But first you must prove your worthiness, your spiritual valor, by freeing yourself of all your worldly possessions. Burn them to ash, and watch your spirit soar. Ta-da, traveler. And don't forget, to find the true rewards of life, you must absolutely burn everything you own. Does this look like a face that would lie to you?
Something really do anything about? Are they all equally worthless?
You, noble creature, you look like you could take to the sky at any moment. Listen close, for I can grant you the ability to soar like a falcon.
I heard you told another man the same story, and he led to his death on a beach near here.
Oh, I say so many things. Who can keep track of what fool acts on what? That man clearly didn't ask me to super duper swear. But for you, my promise is the super duperest.
Yeah, I see you can talk, but can you actually grant the gift of life?
As sure as the sea is green. But hold still. I must first weave my magic spell. Bippity, boppity, boo! There, the charm is complete. Go on, test your new powers. For your first flight, a steep ledge works as your best jumping off point. Goodbye, oh Lord of Wind. Don't forget, you'll fly highest and truest if you start with a running leap. The higher the cliff, the better.
Bravest knight, a source hunter, nay. Tell me verily, would thee likest to knowest what the future holdeth but I?
You can talk, but what are you doing here?
Lo, I am stucketh false like a barnacle upon the howl of time. But while mine body is confined in a stone prison, mine visions runneth free. Would thee liketh to see the end of thine adventure, mortal?
Yeah, that could be death for all I know. No, not now.
Perhaps a wise move, my merry hero.
What are you doing here?
Lo, I am stucketh false like a barnacle upon the howl of time.
Right. So I literally need to place something here. It seems like the centers are not interactable. So it's something I can easily place here. But do I want to do it? I'm sort of having quite a lot of trouble here already, so I wonder if this is easier or harder than just going to the eastern sections.
Hail! One One look at you, mighty paladin of the waves, and your destiny is clear. You were meant to swim the seas.
You can talk?
Of course, of course. Do dolphins not frolic in the waves like rabbits through the field? Do crabs not waltz between the sea and shore at their leisure? And do you not possess the power to breathe the water of the sea as easily as you do the air? Assuredly you do. I, mighty statue of the cliffs, to grant you the power. Now go, your highness of the tides, and test your new ability.
What are you statues doing here?
A tedious, eons-long job. A task more fit for a dog. For our only purpose within these stony confines is to guard the entrance to the cave you see on that cliffside.
Do I see?
We must prevent what lives within from escaping until due penance is done. But we long to move freely once more. But we are utterly trapped without our preferred elements to free us. Farewell, ruler of the deep.
Does it mean any kind of element that... Okay, let's see. We have some elemental essences, but does it mean like any fire effect? That's not fire, by the way.
The salty air on my tongue, the sun on my back. What better way to celebrate life than with a
Demons.
fight?
Knockdown failed, burning failed. Weaken him. Immune to warm, divine light failed. Breathing fails. Water weakness, fire heals. Can I trip you?
Look out!
It's possible to do it though. Fail, fail. There's like 30% chance to successfully do something. And you're just failing, failing, failing.
Transgression.
I need to get rid of it, at least temporarily.
The inferno devours me.
Oh shit, I just want to see what the hell they did. Fire absorption shield, fireball on the ground. We're in deep shit. I think we want to spread about a little bit, nothing more. Also, I'm not particularly fire resistant, so yeah. Accidentally getting into these fights just doesn't work. We need to prepare for the element. Also, I don't want to do this because, for example, I should be trivial easy for me to do water damage because I have a fairly capable water caster, but I simply don't have the skills for it. So if I do something a little bit differently, make a little bit of preparations, I should be much more better positioned to tackle this. Also, I don't need all that much experience points to get a level up, which allows me to get adept level spells. Although I'm not sure if I have the skills points technically for them. But I could at least get the goddamn skill. Curve would be our actually probably easiest because we have a lot of fire. Is there anything I could just wrap up? Talking statues. Charlene, Mayor Cecil's maid. I think we should go back to the city and maybe try to wrap up those couple of little tasks. It might give us the experience we need to get a level up. Where the hell is Cecil? Key to Cecil's living quarters here. Cecilia. Charlie.
Hello again, adventurer. I hope you wiped those muddy boots on your way in.
I've learned Tom's fate.
You say you met him. Was he well? Did he look hungry to you? Cold? Was he eating enough vegetables? Did he wash his hands before supper? Oh, please, you must tell me everything you know.
Can I trade something with you? Nothing useful. We'll tell the truth. We got all up to lie here. I suppose we should tell her the truth about her brother. She'll be devastated, but at least she won't waste her life waiting for a ghost.
I suppose we should tell her the truth about her brother. She'll be devastated, but at least she won't waste her life waiting for a ghost.
Yes, it's a bitter truth, but one we can't conscionably keep to ourselves.
I can't. That's impossible. You must be mistaken. Tom was a daring boy, but an adroit one too. Check your facts before you spread such horrible lies. Tom's alive. Do you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, crazy woman, I hear you. 2,500 for to get up. I think this is quite enough to get there, but it will be good. Have I looted this? No. Is there an alternative way to get in? Yes, but Cecilia would have to be bypassed. Alternatively, go through here. Still, Cecil goes back and forth so much, it's doable. I'm not sure I want to get in that mess now. The other one was the fabulous five. The monster.
What? Oh, it's you! What news? Wait here, I'll get my beekeeper's suit. Oh, wait! Oh, yes, the Fabulous Five. I thought you said the treacherous. Well, never mind. They just informed me that they cleared the cave of all undead presence, so I gave them the reward as promised. They just left town. The rest of the world needs saving too. Oh, they truly are fabulous.
Well, we got the level up we wanted. 40,000 for the next.
It is spectacular indeed to behold how quickly your powers grow. There is a superhuman quality to your progress that both impresses and pleases me. Do continue to pursue the depths of your potential with relentless resolution. Yes, seek power for power's sake. Forswear the pitfalls of morality. Forswear both good and evil. The promises of duty and ambition. Let power be the end of its own means, and nothing in this world will be able to stand in your way.
For the greater good or power for its own sake? Either answer is fine, I think. Without power, it doesn't matter what you do. You don't really have the power to get anything done. I want to serve the greater good. Right, so let power be the means to get things done, yes, but if it is also the end, our final victory can be nothing but hollow.
And there we have it. The weak-mindedness that, like a cancer, eats away at the foundations of strength and dominion. That devours and grows until it undoes the drive for power completely. Know ye then, weak-minded ones, that only if you cast aside all desire and instead focus on the utter mental and physical mastery of supremacy over all, the means as well as the ends will melt into ultimate purpose.
Well, yes, but isn't that exactly the point? There's no difference between the two anymore.
This purpose, I have my own. As do you, that much is clear. Though, perhaps you may as yet be unaware of its true design and composition. So, let us continue our journey, for it is in the journey that purpose takes shape. Go forth, ever on, before grinning time turns us into frail, failed fools.
More discussions?
By Parbatha's silver talons must we linger so? An idle brain is a demon's workshop, hunter.
Yeah, I've noticed you keep stressing our need to hurry. Why are you so pressed for time?
I can tell you if you wish, but you'd have to listen to the tale of my life, because my future, such as it is rooted deeply into my history.
Go on.
Yes, let's get this over with.
Why don't you start at the beginning?
Once upon a time, I was a king in a land of beauty to the east. A land of tigers and slender towers, of deserts and forests, of sun and all the world's wealth. I was a young king, handsome and all-powerful. Every nobleman would have killed his own brother if I promised to take his daughter's hand in marriage. But I refused their incessant implorations. I knew my life as a sovereign would be self-indulgent, but also a self-delusory one, if I weren't to marry for love. And so a handful of years went by. The king's throne I myself occupied, whereas the queen's throne remained empty but for the court's cats that would nap the afternoons away upon its velvet cushions. But then one day, a young woman visited my kingdom. She was a poetess and a storyteller. People flocked to her, listened to her every word as if receiving mantras from the divines. I invited her to my palace, and soon our days, our nights, our love and our lives intertwined.
Tell me more about your lover.
Hiraka. How I miss her still. Miss the brilliance of her mind that was both as sparkling and as unbreakable as the diamonds that adorned her body. Oh, and how I miss her body. 1,000 artists I could have commanded, show me beauty. But she would have effortlessly surpassed their every endeavor, and curving her lips into a smile make them break their sculptures in tearful impotence. And yet, true happiness, that commodity more precious and even more fleeting than the dominion of kings, sang to us like the nightingale, only to depart come the dawn of our first year's unity. A malady overtook me, and I began to wither.
Tell me about the malady.
It was an unparalleled horror. Scores of physicians flocked to my bedside. They traveled from realms across the seas hoping to cure the mighty Jehan, undo the gloom that had befallen the land, and mere vultures that they were, to be paid handsomely for their efforts. But none of their potions took effect. Their salves seared, but did not soothe my fading flesh. Like a ghoul I looked, unburied yet risen from the grave. In futile anger I struck my mirror, but broke my brittle fingers only, not its ever-mocking surface.
So how did you overcome your illness?
That, Hunter, is a tale for later. I realize I haven't answered your initial question yet. Why it is that I chase time like a lioness its prey. But we'll get to that part later, should time permit.
So you're gonna die, basically. I'm guessing he's living on borrowed time, so he hasn't been fully cured.
Yes, let's get this over with. May they be pertinent, Hunter.
You mentioned an ultimate purpose. Now is your case. What would that be?
My ultimate purpose. Yes. Perhaps I shouldn't have mentioned that. Not yet. Suffice to say that I do not live like others do. I do not live for happiness, for the joys these earthly hours may bestow. My existence is the hunt, and through that hunt I may just find deliverance. Soon I must confront my purpose, or perish.
I'm intrigued by your love for animals. If you don't mind my saying so, you don't quite seem like the loving type.
You are right, and you are wrong, Hunter. Right precisely because I was wronged. As you long have guessed, the wound that ever bleeds was inflicted unto me by one of our species. Though in many ways she, Hiraka, was beyond human scope. My station was a high one once, a king's, until I was brought very low. I learned among the dregs that men are the same everywhere. Whether they approach you in a back alley reeking of sewer or the jasmine-scented corridors of royal castles, they smile at you warmly, like friends would, as they fondle their daggers' hilts behind their backs. You are right that I lost affection, but I found it again among the beasts, among the stray cats and street dogs with whom I shared my all too meager meals. Over time, the deer of the forest no longer fled when I approached. Birds would gladly perch upon my hand and eat from my palm. I found among them a serenity unseen amid humanity. There you are wrong, because for them, I harbor a vivid love indeed.
Where are you from?
I am not from any place anymore. I go where my quest leads me. Besides, the name would mean nothing to you. The glorious city in the glorious kingdom where I was born. I remember them well, the sandstone castles, hued like the very sun that batters their battlements without rest. I can see them still. The fountained gardens and halls of pearl-colored marble inlaid with gemstones set in shapes of plants and beasts. Yes, I can see them still. Though when I try to focus on their details, like mirages, they dissolve upon approach. Time. It frays the foundations of memory.
You know, your aversion to all things demonic is so strong as to be irrational. What triggered it?
Lord, what fools these mortals be. Irrational. Is it irrational for a mother's blood to run cold with unutterable horror at the sight of a serpent slithering through the very crib where her babe lay sleeping? Aversion, distrust, and hatred. Such is the grounded trinity that should be anyone's approach to demons. As to the trigger, cannot you make an educated guess? Alcohol is the alcoholic's friend turned foe. With that, you know enough.
Why do you hunt demons?
For 1,000 reasons, and for one especial. The 1,000 obvious ones are list with pleasure. The special one, that is my secret to keep.
Fair enough.
More prey.
Who would have thought it? Jehan, an all-powerful king, stricken by a horrid plague, the memory of which plagues him still.
No wonder, from the sound of it, he was at death's door.
No wonder. From the sound of it, he was at death's door.
The higher your station, the deeper you may fall. He may live, but clearly Jehan is a king no longer.
Consider it. Right.
Ready to advance? Ask away, my friend, ask away.
Suspicious
Always helps to know
of
a thing or
magic.
two about who. Frankly, it surprises me you lot are so eager to work with them. In my experience, they're kinda less reliable than used wagon sales dwarfs from Yuthel Gore. Heed me, comrade. You can't trust a wizard, witch, diviner, conjurer, or seer farther than you can throw 'em.
With your aversion to all things unnatural, why aren't you bothered by our own use of magic?
Well, comrade, I've been around long enough, but not that long, mind, to know that little in this world can be split categorically into light and dark. My distrust of magic is instinctive after my years as a source hunter. But I also know that, at times, using the enemy against itself is the only way to make a lick of progress. So toss your cadabra elixirs and your illusion scrolls to high heavens, comrades. As long as I don't see a hint of darkness about you, you've got nothing to fear from on the door.
What evidence of source inside seal have you found?
More than I'd hoped, comrade. I don't know what in tarnation. There's Mayor Cecil's doings, for one. And on top of it all, the feline menace is lurking at every hearth and shadow.
Tell me about Hunter's Edge.
It's no coincidence the Order retired me. Or tried to, anyhow. Way back when, the settlement was chartered as a stronghold for source hunters to keep watch over the borders of the Phantom Forest. Don't let the name fool you, though. These days, the forest is little more than a smattering of trees and ruins. A perfect posting for an old bull and her dotage like yours truly. In the days of old, though, the forest played host to source devils of every make and kind. Hunter's Edge was a settlement of source hunters tasked with watching over the border of the forest and putting down anything smacking a source that might creep out of it. By now, it's been centuries since anything more dangerous than a badger has come out of those woods. By and by, the source hunters moved out and regular folks set up shop. But the town's charter requires that at least one of our kind remain to keep the watch.
Alright, level up, buy new skills, leave things like that. Ooh, new abilities. I did save, right? Might have to make important choices. I can't delay spending skill points anymore. 4 points available. Right. I need to take the pyrokinetic at least. That way I have one acceptable attack ability. Allows you to learn 6 novice, 3 adepts. I'm sort of inclined to hold on until I get at least one master pyrokinetic skill before spreading out anywhere else. But the ability. Strength isn't that important for us. I think speed, constitution, and intelligence are the important ones. Because maximum number of action points is determined by constitution. Also makes a massive difference in vitality. Like 40 points extra vitality. Still, improves elemental and witchcraft spells and your offense rating with intelligence-based weapons. So this is basically the most important by far. Especially now that we have more spells at our disposal. So I'll keep popping that. Smokescreen. How many do we get, by the way? There weren't that many. 4 of them. I have a 0. It's you can throw your own smokescreen in a line. Line you have reach. There's like blah 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 blah. So it could be good. We don't have that much offensive power, so if there's a lot of that in enemies, we can play them out of the fight by putting up more smoke screens. I get an extra action point, yes. I'm not sure how Constitution affects your maximum number of action points. I mean, it probably means how much you can store, but like maybe double your Constitution or something like that. So while we could get 8 action points, we couldn't store more than 10 or around that. I haven't paid too much attention to it, but there's definitely a limit. So extra Constitution might be better than just extra speed. Offense rating, dexterity on dexterity-based weapons, improves expert marksmen and scoundrel skills, influences your defense rating. So this is not, I'm not sure where we would get the most benefit. I think action point 8 makes a lot of sense because it costs 4 action points to do a lot of attacks. Later on maybe we can... Okay. Maximum action points 12. The number of action points you can have in total. You can save up unused action points from previous turns, but never more than this number. So it's a base of 7 plus constitution value. Action points are 2 plus speed and perception. Okay. Alright. So would it be more suitable to go with perception than speed? Movement, no, movement is because we need to move a lot in the combat area. With archer, perception would be preferred. Melee guide, speed. This is a more troublesome situation. I don't particularly want to invest in nasty deeds too much, because we can use a lot of gear to get the results. At the same time, a single point isn't all that big of an investment. I think we want Scoundrel. No, we have 5 novice, 2 adepts. But it does require adepts use on a lot of things requires skill level of 3 in that particular skill. Saving throw increases would also be incredibly useful. They haven't been using such things that often, but they're still constantly coming your way, especially the knockdown, or yeah, the bodybuilding aspect. Charm, stunned, curse, load, petrified, gain, touch, mark of death, remorse, shackles, pain, fear, mute. This has been rarer, but would reduce the cost of attacking. Dual wielding would do more damage. What would be the next level? I'm not curious. Doesn't show. I don't actually know. I think I want to go and see what scoundrel abilities are available, so this can wait. I have to go shopping anyway. Navi's Geomancer abilities. I don't know. I might learn them at some point, but Witchcraft is definitely a higher priority. This guy needs more action points. Ability to move is dragged down by our armor already, and she can barely attack once. With this, she might be able to attack and use certain special abilities on the same turn. Definitely needs more man-at-arms abilities. Maybe two-handed, but this is more damage. Critical chance increase and critical strike multiplier increase, well, which is nice. But the skills are much more important. So we want lightning attacks or water attacks. I think I need to take a look at the... I can only get one, and it'll take quite a bit of time before I can get the other if I want to. We're probably better off pushing one to master first. Either way... Ooh, perception. Can I get more action points? No. Oh, it's only 6. Critical chance initiative is start action points in combat. Ability to detect traps, accuracy when shooting over long distances. Action point gain per turn. This has been actually very pitiful. Jahan often runs out of action points with combat. I'm much more interested in actually getting more action points than spell improvements, at least for now. I get to 7 action points one way or another. It's definitely more perception focused, but speed would help with the recovery. That's important. I think that will pay off only on the next ability point. Right. We still need to do the shopping. At least some basic skills. Who actually sells that crap? The militia headquarters is definitely one of the places.
Divines doubly bless you, friend.
Need to, for God's sakes, need to give the sellable items. Arrows would be a good way to get a lot of gold. We don't really need them though. Okay, crippling blow. Crippled a target deals 43 to 96 crushing weapon damage. Excellent. Requires a melee weapon to turn cooldown. Crippled status has a negative impact on target's movement and action point recovery. I don't want to sell the unique item that are her standard. I suppose I could sell some of the shittier items, but I'm not sure if I want to. They have some use for crafting. Still, I should have gold, things like that. Maybe some of the arrowheads too. Can we? We can probably use them in a crossbow too. I mean, they're not bolts technically, but I don't think the game gives a crap. Golden cups, paintings. It should be worth quite a lot, quite a bit. There's a lot of little items that we could get rid of. Homemade earth staff. Actually not that bad either. Doesn't really have the special abilities you'd want. But not bad at all. Yeah, probably a lot of excess crap that I could technically just get rid of right now. But I guess it's not that big of a deal.
Salutations, Source Hunter.
Right, 1,500. We're mostly holding on to wands because of the spell use, not because the wands themselves are useful. Okay. We're reaching the amount of gold we might need to actually get the skill books we want. We can't get it all, we'll have to pick and choose a little bit.
Ah, the Source Hunter. Oh, joyous hour.
Fighter. Okay, what do we want? Medora. Barbed wire. Reflect melee damage inflicted upon you at the cost of your chance to hit. So basically, enemies attacking you with melee weapons will take half the damage they deal to you as piercing damage. Your chance to hit goes down minus 25%. You may start bleeding as you activate the stance. Lasts until cancelled or replaced by another stance. Requires a shield. That doesn't sound bad, especially against the guys who do more than 100 points of damage per hit. Still wouldn't be my first choice, because we don't really have a shield. You already know this ability. Cure wounds. Immediately heal yourself or nearby target for 100 vitality. Novice level ability. It's fairly costly to use though. Once per combat. It's cheap. Helping Hand. This is something we have. We have Encourage. 100% chance to set Encourage for 3 rounds. Encourage boosts target strength, dexterity, intelligence, and constitution stats by 1. 5. This isn't great, but this is basically a free buff for 3 turns, more or less. Melee defensive stance. Improve defense at cost of damage. 15% negative damage, armor rating +2. Sometimes you just have to tank, no matter what you do. Taunt. Taunt all enemies within 8 meters around you. Provoke and tease them so that they want to attack you. Yeah, could be very useful, no doubt about that. Whirlwind. There aren't that many skills actually available. Not that things that we wouldn't want. Maybe the defensive stance. Armor rating +20. I'm not sure. I don't understand how armor rating works. I haven't actually taken a look at it either. But maybe the Encourage. Barbed wire. But you need a shield. We don't have a shield. But we can in tough situations. I think I'll take the defensive stance, just so I have another stance ability. Right. I'm sort of thinking of including some of the arrows in there too. To get away with not having to pay him anything yet. Yes. I don't want to lose the gold. It weighs nothing. Conversion costs a little bit, but not that bad. Six novice levels, yeah. Six novice is the maximum. I guess 6 per skill is maximum. I'm not really using the melee power stance. Honestly, what exactly do I have? I'm more or less happy with what I have. I still might want to switch them at some point though, so let it be for now. Rogue and spellcasters. Warm antique silver ring of the sage. Immunity to frozen. Water damage. Ice shards. Right. I'm looking for spells. I'm not gonna bother looking at the equipment. It's just gonna annoy me that I'm not gonna get what I want. So, fire skill box. Self-immolation creates a fire surface around you, with you in the middle. Grants everyone around you 25% fire resistance for 2 turns, removes frozen and stunned. Fireball is the must-have thing. Could we get another novice level skill, a single one. Wildfire tastes a target. 100% chance to set warm. Alternatively, targets. 100% chance to set Avatar of Fire. Makes target immune to burning, not fire damage. Melee attackers may catch fire. Target can still become warm and still takes fire damage. These don't seem all that impressive. I think I'll just take the fireball. Learn 2 new fire abilities. So, Fireball was the important one. Action point 7. So that's fairly high. But we definitely need more action points. Can target terrain to create fire surface, burn ooze or oil, evaporate water or melt ice, can explode some clouds. Actually, who sells? Yeah, witchcraft is something I've also forgotten. Witchcraft, air, and water. We have to buy something along those lines. Witchcraft would definitely be
Sorry,
welcome.
sir.
There's some attack spells and heal spells there. I mean, do damage, heal yourself, type of thing. But more importantly, I want a water attack spell of some sort. What do I? Yeah, it. What do I want? An adept level spell of some sort. Air spells in general tend to be fairly good because of the stun effect. A couple of opponents so far have been vulnerable to water. But that's a far cry from focusing on the hydro spells.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Heavenly herring! Delicious dogfish! Yours for a scrap of gold each!
Marksman books.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond.
Don't recall Captain Jack. What did he
What
want?
are ye staring at?
Those scallywags heard there be silver in the Lacula mine.
Right.
Tomatoes.
Jerome sells maps.
Source hunters, eh? All right, proper. We're finally getting a hand. Things is chaos. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like...
Oh no, noble friend. Your upper chakras are in desperate need of a good scrubbing. Fortunately for you, my homebrewed tinctures will do the job. Or if you're in the mood for something a bit more electrifying, one of my air scrolls might give your system just the shock it needs.
Right. What do you know? Requires level 9, Water of Life. You and your allies around you magically gain Constitution. 3.
Made a big cheese on your book with a wheel of the good stuff.
Freezing Touch.
Let us see if you
22, 23 water damage. Frozen status. The big attack spells use a lot of action points too. So the current ones are more or less okay for novice spells. They're also sort of a little bit weak for adept spells. I don't think once we get to master spells, things are gonna get any easier. Ice Shard, chance to freeze and does a decent amount of water damage. Immune to being thrown.
Let us see if you can choose the finest green.
Snoop. Only 2 action points. It has a 70-meter range, which is a long range. Yeah, this sounds actually quite good. It's also novice ability.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies, size seals
Blitzstorms, already know. Bitter Cold, already know. Avatar of Storms, don't know, don't really care. The thing about this is these protect from the status effects of elemental attacks, not the elemental damage itself. So it's of questionable usefulness. Advice was a good one. 57 to 87 air damage, 100% chance to be blinded. Cause is also only 5 points. Invisibility. Become invisible for a short time. 2 turns. Cheap to use. Long cooldown. Thunder Jump. He jumps from one target to the other, hitting a maximum of 2 targets, stunning them and dealing 31 to 34 air damage.
Let us see if you can choose the finest green.
But this actually moved your character to the target, so it's not quite so simple. Cures petrified, slowed and stunned. Novice skill. Definitely taking that. Guess we're taking hit device. $1,458. How much do you have to pay for it? 1,337. Leads. Lead spellcaster, right. Fine. Who the hell sells rogue stuff? I might be able to get a ability or 2. Especially if I sell some excess crap. There aren't that many shopkeepers in the game.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Fresh haddock! Perfect for a fryer!
I don't even recall what's in the warehouse.
I'm straight! I'm true!
It's not the cook.
Paris by the dozens!
Well, Esmeralda has something. Polish visit there. But the rogue is sort of... He's not in a place at the moment. Okay, there was a shopkeeper here in the upper floors. Who was Francis? Coffee cake, pet cake. Tavern keeper. Let's try something. I have a buff perception now, so maybe I can find something here.
Play here all right, but that doesn't solve the mystery.
Nothing for it but to keep looking for more clues.
Okay. Scoundrel and witchcraft. Okay. Adrenaline. Borrow action points from your next turn. You'll have less action points to spend during your next turn. No shit. Doesn't cost anything. 100% chance to immediately gain extra 50% to your turn action points, but lose 75% of your total action points next turn. Limited usefulness, but in tough situations could be good. I am looking for more on the adept line. Only take half of all physical damage dealt to you for 2 turns. Once per combat. Good tanking ability in a tough situation when you have to go close to the enemies. Make yourself immune to surfaces as if you were floating above them. I can't afford more than 1 skill book, so eventually want more. Poison your target. Venomous strike. Any more adept skills? No. So become air. Is that it? Yep. It's a good one though. So we'll either take that or take witchcraft spell. Deal immense damage to a summoned creature. We can learn it and cast it too. Charm a target. Hit level. Turns target's allegiance around. That sounds very useful. Make target decay so that it cannot be healed by magic or potions. It will be damaged instead. Could be useful. Also, it's a touch thing though. Drain willpower. Decreases target's willpower by 5. It makes susceptible to mind attacks. Low resistance. Decreases all elemental resistances of enemies around you. 20% penalty. Vampire Touch. Heal yourself with the life force of someone else. 47 to 52 piercing damage, while 200% chance to heal, 54 vitality. It's close range. I think Charm has potential, and or alternatively we could take Become Air, one or the other. Abilities to lower resistances wouldn't be exactly horrible either, because it makes them more susceptible to stunning and things like that. Although willpower, I don't think it is. We want to lower body. I'm sort of inclined to go with the spellcaster because he needs a good selection of spells that he can cycle through. And Charm could, against humanoid opponents, drastically alter how the fight goes. 17-meter range too, so I wouldn't have to go anywhere near them. Alternatively, have physical damage for 2 turns. I'll take the Charm. I'll have to do something to earn some money later on. What? Ah, because it's level 1, not 2. Well, shit. I saved anytime recently. At least, at the most I saved after I did the previous shopping. So I can take the air skill, no problem.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this
I have
fine
about 1,000 gold.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Yeah, where can I see my gold?
Not in the mood for cheese.
I don't want to see the amount of gold this character is carrying. I want to see my gold, full gold, party gold. Right, here it is. We can go doing thievery or something else. Do some crafting, I don't know.
How gratifying to see you return. You are quickly becoming my favorite customer.
Right. We're leaving things that... Yeah. We go back to the... Do we go back to the beach or do we want to go with the statues? I think I don't want to go anywhere. I'll literally leave things here because what I want to know is what happens at the eastern section of things. I can go there. There seems to be some kind of connecting sections, so it might be more worthwhile for me to either go to the strange caves or try to push to the eastern sections. I'm not sure what I'm doing here in the Watcher statues. At the same time, I'm confident I can take on the Watcher statues. I don't get the secrets thing, so I don't have a secret.